Welcome to the SorareAndrews show, where we talk fantasy football, but you never know. We'll start with the game, but we'll soon go astray. Off topic discussions, that's we play. We'll analyze the teams, the formation and goals, but in no time we'll digress easy on the roll, talking about our favorite foods and the shows we've seen. Our opinions are loud and our voices are mean. It's the SorareAndrews show. Anything goes, from fantasy football to rock and roll. We may start with the pitch, but it's just a small part. We'll venture off topic, let the conversation spark. It's the SorareAndrews show.
Hello and welcome into the SorareAndrews show. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined as always by Andy Black on Sorare, who was so excited about instant buys for super rares on Sorare that he was like, "Hey, when does that start?" And I was like, 4 hours ago.
You know, I did my research for this show while the intro was playing, and now I already have my opinion formed. So
So congratulations on you already doing more research than I did for this show. How about that? Thank you to everybody for coming in. Major NFT, Bob Franklin and Malky on the podium. Way to be. To you three. Major NFT said, super rare instant buys are bad, but willing to hear us out. So we'll see. Stefan, what's up? Kai. Paul says, I don't care about super rare, so I'm glad this will go off topic quickly. I mean, you never know.
Not wrong.
Never know. Aaron, what's up? Mikey Bastin, Brones. Mike said no work tomorrow, so it's a beer on pants off stream for me tonight.
Mike, let's go.
Wow. All right. We just dove right in there, huh? Sean Kennedy, what's up? Sorare Burrow. Scottish bar steward. Black is the reason to tune in. Hey, how about that?
How about that?
Tomachez, what's up? Andy, based on your extensive research, are Sorare, I keep saying it wrong, but super rare instant buys, good or bad?
Mid, right? All right, so based on my extensive research and analysis and economic background, I've found that they are doing exactly what we all thought they would probably do.
Which is what?
They're pricing them too high. But they're like Dutch auctions, and they will come down. And at some point, somebody wants a card, they'll pay the price that's listed there.
So
those instant buy prices are not static.
Correct. So I got a couple comments on Twitter that we were talking about this, and one of the comments was from Rasko Misaki, who said, some of the prices are already hilariously bad. Congrats to Sorare for effing it up yet again. When you hear that, which direction do you think that the prices are?
Well,
too high or too low that they messed
probably both.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You are just not answering any question today. So
like I looked at Kai Wagner. His first super sold for like 0.88 ETH.
Look at you still using ETH. Okay.
$2,300. The instant buy for his super rare is $2,000, close to $2,100. Seems like they started that card maybe too low. I mean, it's not the 1 of 10, but who knows? They might be able to make more money off that card. But if not, it will drop in price over the coming weeks.
So Rasko Misaki's comment was that they were too low, that some of the Asia cards were snap bought and somehow that's bad.
Well, that is bad because they're leaving money on the table.
Sure.
Good for end user, bad for Sorare.
Right. Sorare Josh said Kota Takai sold for 435 pounds a week ago, and the instant buy was 105.
Yeah, I don't understand how they can mess that up.
I'm not going to comfortably answer that question. Anyway, the one that I thought was very funny, so basically, I think you're right that the idea is that it's basically a Dutch auction, that they should start them really high, and when some amount of time passes and it doesn't sell, they just lower it a little bit, or maybe they lower it based off of rare sales or limited. Like, right. I don't know.
Yep.
But my favorite thing about instant buys generally are when one is purchased, the next one becomes a little more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody pointed out to me, I think it was either Harry or Keith, Marcel Hartle, one of 10, super rare in season, sold for $1,300 2 weeks ago.
On auction.
The instant buy today, I'm sorry, there was another auction today. Was that actually an auction? Hold on, let me double check that because, okay, yeah, it was an auction. So another auction today sold for $910. So yep. $1,300 to $900. What do you think the instant buy is?
It should be like, actually, I'm staring at it right now. $2,200.
$2,200 is the instant buy.
See, that's them getting it right, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Shoot for the stars, right? Shoot for the stars. And then over the course of 1, 2, 3 weeks, that price slowly degrades. And then someone buys it eventually.
So there are currently 5 MLS super rares available on instant buy, more expensive than that Hartle.
Yep.
Messi, Evander, Peck, Lucho Acosta, and your boy Carlos Heel. I like this logic from Mike. 1,300 plus 900 is 2,200. Nailed it. So generally with Dutch auctions, we know how much time has to expire before the price goes down. But this isn't a Dutch auction. It's
right,
whatever the hell they want to do. So how do you think, when do you think this Hartle goes down from 2,200 to 2,150?
I don't know. And the other thing, Laird, too, that's really important, there's only 10 of these. There's only 10 Messi super rares. Do they have a allocation that is auctioned, rewarded, and instant buy? Or is it just whatever they want to do?
So I believe they still adhere to the 60-40. So I've always called it a rule, and I think it was Pap who pointed out to me that that's not actually defined anywhere.
I think they just said it one time.
I agree with
you.
It. Yep. Yeah. And we've never gotten corrected, but it's also never been confirmed. But I don't know if there are any instances where they've sold more than 60%. I don't know. But anyway, to answer yours, if we are using that, the 60% is auction and instant buy combined. It's like Sorare can sell six of them and reward 4. And Ricamon said they would only ever sell 60%. Who said this and where did they say this? I think a lot of us have said that.
We've all heard it somewhere.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you know what? That video, wherever it was said, it was on a podcast somewhere. It's been deleted. It doesn't exist anymore. It was probably on So Far So Rare with John Nellis.
I was just about to say, I bet it's on a Nellis show.
And the video is hidden on his channel because he's embarrassed of us,
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's because they told him to get rid of it. No, I'm just kidding. Mike said it used to be 60-30-10, which they did confirm pre-limiteds, but never the 60-40. What is the 10?
Instant buy, maybe?
No, if it was pre-limiteds. I don't know what. I don't know. 60, 30, and 10 just to give away for fun people. I don't know. Anyway, so
I like the comment from Deco 121. Super rare in season is the ultimate FOMO bait.
So Keith pointed out he was like the first backup goalie that gets us the start that nobody expects.
Watch.
And it was just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Hey, no. It's not even that. It's the moment Andre Blake, he grabs that hamstring, he grabs the hammy, and he doesn't take a goal kick. You know, Jacob Glesnes takes the goal kick, and people just are gonna start buying the whoever. I don't even
I was
know.
gonna say, hold on. Well, yeah, I'm like looking it up right now. Who is it?
It was that kid last year, Semmel or whatever, but I don't. It's probably not him this year.
Oh, Semmel's still there. It's another Andrew. How about that?
Yeah.
Two first namer, Andrew Rick, Andre and Andrew.
Yeah, watch watch Andrew Rick, and people will be buying both of those cards
For 260 bucks each or total.
Yeah, honestly, if I were Sorare, I would bait backup goalkeepers even harder.
Like they shouldn't be any less than $500 for a super rare goal. Like
I don't know about $500 for an Andrew Rick, but man, that is the you want to talk about the ultimate bait? It's those cards right there.
I'm trying to see what the first Blake super rare went for. $757. And the instant buy is $1,700. You telling me Andrew Rick is not like
I don't know what you're about to say, but yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It was just the simple, like, if you have Andre Blake, and Blake's probably a bad example because Philly are supposed to be so bad this year, but like, if you are
supposedly,
yeah, really, if you're an in-season super rare player who spent $750 on Blake, and something happens to him, and Andrew Rick is there at 500, you're like definitely not buying it. Like you're sure as hell looking at it and just like, damn it.
Right. Especially if you're like stacking that team, and
that's
like,
what I mean.
well,
Yeah,
I got Glesnes and Wagner and whoever else.
Yeah, Gazdag and
hey, I gotta buy him. You convince yourself I gotta buy him.
Yeah, because if somebody else might, and then like now they get all the Andrew Rick points. It's super rare, man. There are just not that many of them. Did Fry not start last night? I know people were talking. Deke was talking about Thomas possibly.
Yeah, I think a couple goalkeepers rotated last night. The Sensi goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, Celentano.
Yeah.
Jimmy Maurer 60 pounds is tempting. No, it's not. I think I sold my classic Maurer for around that. What did I sell that card for? My God, there's been so many of them. Oh, no. $62. I sold mine for. So not the same. Yeah. What's funny is that it feels like most people, like, I think the negative opinions on like Sorare doing this, we're going to be on both sides. Like the one where they're going to put them so high that it almost doesn't even matter because nobody's going to buy them at that price.
Right.
Like that Hartle card, like nobody's buying that one. And then the other side, they're like, people are going to get some really cheap. And it's like, okay, like, why do you care? Like you weren't buying, like,
I think the ones that are just flat out bad are when they have sales data for a card and they list, for some reason, they listed it below that recent sales data. Like the J League card you were talking about, like who fucked that up? But
so like that's one person saying that they like sold them for too little. But do we really know that they were that little? Like I haven't seen any, like if anybody in the chat has like an egregious example that like a super rare instant buy sold that like for the same as like the rare or something. But like we know that like the super rare market is just different. And like there's no standard multiple now over the rare or the limited. Like it's just kind of like People are going to pay what they can pay. And they're like the number of cards. So Harry and Keith, I was talking to. So Keith did exactly what I was going to do, which is funny because like I don't play super rare MLS at all. But he was like, he went to the super rare market, the instant buys, and I'll just do it. It's not like a secret or anything. So he went to the super rare instant buys for MLS and just went lowest price. And he's like, I just started scrolling and like, which ones come up? Are there any like surprises? And the two of them went through it and they were like, not really. It all looks fine. Like the cheap guys are cheap and nothing like stuck out. I think Harry ended up buying one, but they were both like, oh, that's a decent, like that's a good price for that card, but nothing more of like, oh, that's a steal.
Right.
And so from the MLS standpoint, like it seems like it's fine. Like Jay said, look at Vieto. It's not that bad, but it's pretty cheap. And nobody's buying it.
See that, and it's like exactly, and that's like the temptation. They're like dangling that carrot for you. It's not that bad. It's pretty cheap. I should buy this. Most of the MLS cards are just too high, which will correct itself.
Why can't I get Argentina?
Or some whale will come in and just start buying things and it won't correct itself.
I just don't think that's going to happen. Like,
no, I don't
honestly.
think so.
Why can't I get content?
I mean, and even if that happened,
what are we doing?
It will correct itself eventually.
Right. Mike said, did Harry buy Noah Ellie by any chance? I thought he was, well, I don't want to like blow him up. Let me see if he actually bought it. Now I feel bad. Let's see. Did Harry FOMO in here? Yeah, he did. He bought a Rafael Navarro. But yeah, like here are these are the Argentina ones. So Vieto, I don't even see any.
Montiel is more expensive than Armani.
Who is?
Look like Montiel was.
He actually might be at the rare level.
I just remember he was a stud like 5 years ago when he was on River.
Before. I guess I should just look at this as. I guess not. From the rare side, that he's not. Yeah, I don't know. Oh wait, I wonder if somebody instant bought a Montiel super rare. No, 7 days ago, 744 though. The Argentina ones are weird because people are spending so much. We're spending a lot for the Argentina special, and then now it's not there.
Oh, so was the Argentina special last weekend?
Yes.
Was it just 1 week or was it multiple weeks?
That was it.
Okay.
One and done. But like, I don't know. Somebody pointed this one out to me, Marcusine. They were like, yeah, that's a decent price. Nobody's bought it.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a ball. Laird, you should buy that card.
I should buy that card.
How does that like randomly happen? Like all of these are like so standard vanilla BS looking cards. And then this guy sneaks a ball in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a goalie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any other goalkeepers sneaking balls into their pictures.
Let's see. I wonder if the backup, who does he play for? That's not Gimnasia. Is it?
Oh, you want to look at the whole team and see if like the backups have balls?
That's exactly what I'm doing. How do you get like the team? What is Gimnasia? Cards, maybe? All right, let's do this. Yeah. In season goalie. Nope. He's the only one.
No balls.
This guy can't even get the same shirt.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
Man.
They all have different shirts.
Yeah.
Dude, look at the veins on that dude's the backup goalkeeper's arms. Jesus.
Wow. Yeah. He's not skipping forearm day. This guy's got a little bit too.
Yeah, a little bit.
The main guy was he wearing long sleeves? Oh, no,
Yeah.
just
Oh well, he's got
tattoos.
tats
Right.
and
Plus, he's holding the ball.
right.
There's probably a picture of the other guys holding like a medicine, like a heavy medicine ball, and that's why they're so like juiced up. And he's just holding a soccer ball. Anyway, Lewis Jameson, Paintsel also sold for $200 on Instant Buy when last sale on auction like a week ago was $700. Let's see if we can make sense of that one.
Yeah, let's try to sort this out.
So I guess it's the last two. 945, 16 days ago, 260, 2 hours ago.
ATX got it.
Yep. That's who I sold my Evander to. So 16 days ago, the rare was $200, let's call it.
Do you think that those people, the first like 3 or 4 buys, do you think those people didn't know he was hurt?
I mean, he's hurt, but he's not like he's not Ricky Pooch hurt.
Right. He's like, it's like what, 4 to 6 weeks or something.
Yeah.
It's like a hammy. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was before the season, so it's not like you're missing 8. And there's an international break coming up, I think, or something. I don't know.
Is there?
I have no idea to answer your question. That I will say the one of looks like a good buy compared to like the next few.
Yeah. They all seem actually kind of fine. Like whatever.
So how do you feel about the fact that the auction went for 70 yesterday, and then they did an instant buy of 260? 3x ish?
Well, it's like closer to 4x, isn't it? 3.5.
Yeah. In between 3.5, let's call it. Sure.
Seems low. Seems like a good deal. I mean, if you were able to sell a card 16 days ago for $1,000 or close to $1,000, I would think 16 days later I would try to sell it again for $1,000. That would be my starting point.
So I'm totally with you on that. It seems like the simple override would just be like, if the list price is below last sale,
yes,
put it to last sale.
Basic logic. You know what? Put the hard hat on, Laird. Let's get you out there.
Yeah.
Sorare will hire you.
Yeah, probably not. Toby said the instant buy should be a reasonable price.
Why?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Oh, he said no instant buy.
Yes, I saw the second one. That seems like a reasonable price, which means the instant buy was too low. No instant buy should be a reasonable price. Okay. Literally the opposite of how I originally read that.
I think eventually, if nobody buys it, it can become a reasonable price. But
right.
Day one launch day of super rare instant buys, I agree. They should not be what people would consider reasonable.
Agreed. Let's see. I just have no concept of how much these cards actually are. Like, yeah, I would argue that these are probably starting way above reasonable.
They are. And honestly, you can just click on one of them, look at the 1 of 10 sale for every single one of those cards, and the instant buy prices are considerably higher.
1,600 for Carlos Heel. Wait a minute. Carlos Heel was 1,600, but Hartle, 1,300. Never mind. Yeah. So they got this one right, at least. Higher than last sale.
And like, look at Messi. Messi, I think, is like, I don't think anybody's spending $4,700 for that card.
Is this Pranksy? This Alex Hamad bought a ton of cards. Toby said, do bots buy super rares? I have no idea. Like from the market? I don't know. But yeah, these generally seem like absurdly fine to me. That's all. Have you noticed this new thing that they have? Well, have you bid on any auctions recently?
Not really.
So they have this new thing, which I noticed if you look at the bottom of my screen, There's like I bid on this, or maybe I'm watching it or something,
Oh,
and
okay.
it stays here no matter where you are in the site.
That's
think.
cool.
Yeah.
The one downside, because I did see feedback on this
Maybe it's just
on mobile, you have so little real estate on your
Yeah.
phone, it looks kind of awful.
It I think at one point it was like covering the filter button, and I couldn't like filter anything. But I think they fixed that. Yeah, I like that. I like it. AAC said they messed up partly on this because some of them are based on the sale price from last Friday when the auctions were cheap because they were up for 2 hours or so. They did like blast out a bunch of auctions at one point.
I do remember that. Kind of like in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, is what it is.
Okay. Enough super rare talk. Nobody plays super rare.
Okay. I wanted to have an instant buy talk, but we can go off topic for a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna hijack this for a second. I was listening to your show yesterday. By the way, congratulations on the Joda Super Rare.
Thank you.
You sold it yet?
Yeah, I sold it.
Nice. Who did you sell it to?
Somebody with a very extensive Celtic Super Rare in-season collection. That was not McBride.
Okay, and not Quinny. Oh, I guess Quinny probably doesn't.
Quinny doesn't really play in-season Super Rare. I did reach out to McBride, and McBride has one, and I don't like talk to McBride regularly, but it felt weird not at least reaching out to him and be like, "Are you interested in this card?" Because it's like a card that he would want. He has one. But yeah, I sold it to somebody else.
The rest of the show, I felt like you were taking it pretty hard from chat on matchup stuff. And I was sitting there like yelling in my car. I was driving home from work, listening to it on 1.5x speed. I've gone from 1.2 to 1.5. You know, I'm improving. I'm evolving. I'm becoming a better me. And I was just like, I was like shaking and yelling at my car because I agreed with you 1,000%. And it felt like chat was like taking crazy pills. The Arsenal West Ham one was crazy. It was just looking at a situation and looking at being completely results oriented, and not looking at like matchup data. What do the bettors say? What does Vegas say? Vegas is usually right.
So I find it funny you still call it Vegas, but is that a boomer term or what?
It's
like an American boomer thing. Yeah. Like absolutely. So I think one of the funny things about how people respond to citing sportsbook odds is that they always, like, so many people seem to have like something about it, and they were like, this is why they're wrong. And it's like, and then it's like some random stat or like something, and it's like, do you think that their algorithms like don't include that stuff? And they're like, oh well, it's raining, and you're like, do you really think that and it's like everything that people always come back on sportsbook odds is always like that's obviously included in what they do, and it's just more of a misunderstanding about probabilities that people, and so many things will go back to that when somebody sees something. It's like, oh, they're 70% to win, and they're like, oh, and they think like 100%. And
all I know is I got me, and I'm not too smart. Vegas and the sports books, they've got thousands of guys that are like smarter than me. I'm gonna go with what they say.
BR4 said we can say bookies. I always just say sports books, but yeah, bookies. There is no amount of research I can do that will be more effective than just looking at sportsbook odds, bookie odds. And that this is something that I learned very early on when I was doing DFS content with like Jordan Cooper, because he was like, just look at the sportsbook. And I was like, yeah, but, and he's like, just like they think of the stakes that they have to get this right and wrong.
Yeah.
And think of your stakes if you get it right or wrong. And like, who's going to put in more time and effort and energy into getting that right? And I was like, yeah, but, and he's like, anything you think of that you think is important is probably in their calculation. And so there were so many times where people will like push back on things when I'm like, no, this is what the sports book says. And they're like, yeah, but like, you know, Arsenal away in February when it rained in Japan 3 days earlier, they've never won. And you're just like, okay, like, all right. And so, yeah, that one was almost like the reason for the show yesterday.
Yeah. How often do you go and look at your lineups and like play the game where you're like, well, if I would have played him here and moved this goalkeeper into this lineup, I would have gotten first.
Yeah.
Like the classic rabbit hunting that we've done before. I think that people like to try to like justify, maybe not justify, but try to convince themselves that they should have done a thing. It's like, I'm never playing Areola in a good lineup when he's away to Arsenal. I'm just not doing it.
Of course not. Of course not.
I get it.
Does bring this up.
Not scoring a ton of goals, but they're still massive underdogs.
Right. And Ryan Dino said, how many odds setters have St. Louis collection though? Which, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
ZM Star said, if people feel so strong about the book, then they put your money up. We play Sorare, so we don't have to bet on sports, please.
Oh yeah, we're not gambling.
Yeah,
that's right.
So I think the other thing that people kind of misunderstand about the way that, at least that I have used sportsbook odds and how we have them on Sorare data, is like odds to win, like a team that is like an overwhelming favorite to win, people equate the higher win percentage to like more goals that are going to be scored. So like Arsenal's 70% to win, and people are like, oh, they'll win 5-0 because it's 70%. And it's like, no, they could win 1-0 70% of the time. They think that'll happen.
One person in your chat, their comment was, well, I thought Areola would get peppered, but I didn't think he would concede 3.
3, yes.
When you set your lineups, what data or what information do you use to consider a goalkeeper matchup to be quote unquote good? Because I've had this conversation with different people and have gotten completely different like feedback from them.
There's almost never a time where I will pick an underdog goalkeeper over a favorite. Full stop. I don't care what the situation is. Maybe if it's like 51-40, like whatever, but
sure,
it's voluntarily choosing like a big underdog goalkeeper in a priority lineup it's just not an option.
Yeah, wanting your goalkeeper to get peppered is weird because I get it. The team, maybe they don't concede high XG types of shots, but any given day, right?
I didn't even get into XG. I can't. I just can't talk about XG.
I am not either. I'm not, because I keep it very, very basic when I look at goalkeeper matchups. Are they home? That's the first one. Are they home? Yep. And do they have decent clean sheet odds? And that's it.
Do you actually look at clean sheet odds as opposed to win odds?
I look at both, but I mean, like usually they usually correlate, unless it's PSV, because they're usually heavily favored to win and not heavily favored to get a clean sheet.
That's fair. Like I was like even just in the lineup builder. Let me see if I can pull it up there. Yeah. So like for the goalies, like I almost never look at this, like the clean sheet part.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, are they favored? Great.
Whoa,
Moving.
whoa, whoa! What's this matchup thing? Decent, good, decent.
It's just like a summary of this stuff.
Is this like a? Oh, you're on beta. You're a beta. I see.
Yeah. It's just a little easier to read.
Okay.
You have access to this.
I know. It looks different, and I'm old.
Yeah, it is different, and you are. Ricomon said, I don't know. It depends on the game. I would have taken the Ipswich keeper over Onana last night.
Easy to say now, right?
What's that?
Easy to say now, right?
Right. Like you wouldn't. Was that game at Old Trafford?
Yeah, I think
It was.
I think
Yeah,
Man U
no.
was home.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Tobias said sometimes he just goes with the vibes. I like that. All vibes.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. Yeah, that got me a little fired up yesterday.
Yeah.
Not
same.
nearly as much as you, apparently.
Well, I mean, it was more so that I couldn't say anything. And I get like being on the listener side sometimes. People probably feel that way. It's just they hear you say something and it triggers them.
Simon said, I often look at the win to nil odds for goalkeepers.
ZM Star put something in here that I didn't understand. He said goal per 10% odds is my maths.
So I was saying when Arsenal's 70% to win and people think, oh, they'll just win 7-0. So that's what it was.
Okay.
Those were the maths. Can we go back to instant buys for a minute? If I promise that they weren't about super rares?
Only if we can talk about road rage afterwards, since Mike Baston brought it up.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. So do you remember when they introduced instant buys and my initial reaction to them?
Yeah, you hated them.
Do you remember why I hated them?
No, I remember you hated so much maximum bids.
Oh, I do hate that.
You were
Absolutely
so
hate
against
that.
it. Are you still against it?
Yes, I am.
Oh, max bids are so nice.
For a quality of life perspective, I totally agree with you. Totally agree.
But now you can't get your deals.
Yeah, no deals and no auction watches anymore. Yeah, no. The thing that I didn't like about instant buys was that it felt like we were taking the cost of card ownership. Ownership's not the right word. It felt like the market was no longer deciding how much cards cost, and Sorare was deciding it. And the thing that I like, the reason auctions kind of make sense in this perspective is like, we know how much cards are worth because we bid against each other, and whoever wants to pay the most wins. And when instant buys come about, now it's Sorare being like, so you know that card that you thought you knew the value of, we are deciding it's actually this. And you can make the argument like, well, the market still decides because if somebody buys that card, then, but if nobody buys the card, like we don't have any knowledge of when they get cheaper, why they get cheaper, like whatever the pricing mechanism is. And that's kind of like coming up today with the super rares. It's like, we have no idea where these prices come from other than that Hartle one, because 900 and 1300 is 2200. But I'm guessing the other maths don't work out that way for other cards. And so I ultimately just like had the problem that like there was almost an inherent, not safety for the user, but it did feel like an inherent safety with the users deciding how much cards cost. And that was taken from us by Sorare saying, no. If you want this card, this is how much you pay.
I would agree with you if cards were only available via instant buy, but that's just not true.
Well,
You can get
for
cards
some, you're
many
saying
different ways.
for like rares and super rare, like eventually rare, like right now they're not auctioning most European rare cards. So like Sorare's deciding what those cost now. And MLS super rares, like they're very like,
but it's not like they're being dicks about it, man. Like I think you had a tweet today showing the price of Messi compared to Mbappe, which was hilarious.
It's funny. I actually didn't think that one was egregious. It was the Evander being more than Yamal. I'm just like, what are we doing?
Oh, I guess I didn't notice that. That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Let me see. Yeah, Evander over Yamal. Anyway, so yeah, and so now we're at the point with MLS where, like, there are currently 54 super rare auctions going on right now for MLS, and there are 690 instant buys. Who's deciding how much these cards are going for? Like, let's be serious here. It's obviously Sorare.
No, because nobody has to
Nobody's
buy
buying
them. Yeah, nobody has to buy them. You can let Sorare be in charge if you want.
It's a great,
or you gotta
great
wait
line
for the
from
auction.
Timo here. The thought that they may have taken Smolikov instant buy price from my half-drunk purchase tickles me. They've got that one at 127 right now. Mark paid 56. It's happening, Mark. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Ricky, we get it. Like, we get it, but like, it's just funny to see, right?
So, since Ricky brought this up, Ricky says, what was the Yamal price at the start of the season, though? You're not comparing like for like. I am only comparing like for like. How much does it cost to get Messi today? How much does it cost to get Yamal today? That's what I am comparing. And frankly, I didn't fucking compare anything. I posted a screenshot of some instant buys. And then
if you want to play that game, Laird, go look at the classic prices of those two cards.
I don't even care. But like the comments, this is my favorite part. So all I wrote was the current state of Sorare with this picture: Messi, right, Mbappe, Evander, and Yamal.
You can't say it's not funny. That's funny.
I think it's hilarious. That's why I posted it. But what I find even funnier are the people who are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What? Messi is going to be half the price of Mbappe, a quarter of the price of Mbappe. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm just showing you this is what they cost now. Like, yeah, would be. And of course, the Uzo guy here, Sorare is dead. But yeah, just like the number of people, where was it? Yeah, M-Pen. Just like fished him right in. 30 games versus 15 games. I don't care. I didn't say anything about that.
Yep. It's just funny to see. It's funny.
I agree with you. I completely agree
with you. Let us be entertained.
I wonder, let's see here.
Now, does it all make logical sense? Yes. I'll be Sean on this one. Well, yes and no. Because they have more utility, but it doesn't really make sense that, Evander's more than Yamal.
What about that Gabriel Peck is more than Kimmich? Like, this is my favorite thing to do right
reasonable.
Now. Messi, Mbappe, Evander, Yamal, Peck, Kimmich, Rafinha, Kai Wagner. Hugo Lloris is more valuable than Jude Bellingham. Albert Rusnak is the same as Cole Palmer. Everyone knows Carlos Gil is better than Mo Salah. You can see it right here. He's more expensive. Joe said, and you didn't even mention the fact Yamal will have another 20 years of use as a classic. I didn't mention anything. Who would you rather, Thibaut Courtois or Pedro Gallese? If you chose Gallese, you'll need more money than if you want Courtois or Allison.
I'll be honest. If I'm buying a card right now, I'm buying that guy even though he ate like 6 goals in the first game.
Yeah. Florian Wirtz or Ryan Gauld? Where's the most expensive J-League card? Like, where's Cecina?
Like page.
I know he's
page 15, probably.
No, he's got to be more than $50. Oh, I just missed him. 65. So he's right here. Oh, who would you rather, Cecina or Vinny Jr. or Bukayo Saka?
You don't want my answer on that one.
This is great. Rusnak has a better L15 than Cole Palmer.
By a lot.
Buketti said their logic means Cecina should be more than Yamal because he has more utility. Maybe not a lifetime utility, though.
I don't imagine you can win as much money in the in contender as you can champion or prom or.
Surely you can, with a whole season of contender ahead of you versus only
Good point.
12 games of Yamal. I would take Cecina over Saka, says Ricomon. This is why the game changed. Like that's why the game changed, because there were more people who wanted Cecina over Saka. And Sorare is like, stars will be stars. Anyway. Road rage time?
I was just going to ask you if you ever been involved in a road rage accident or road rage incident.
No.
Not even like minor. Have somebody yelling at you. Do you ever flip the bird?
No. But I did have someone get super pissed at me the other day because I was trying to. What was the?
I mean, you grew up in New York City. You would think road rage would be like a daily part of your life.
I never drove though. Yeah. Yeah, simple as that. I had somebody lay on their horn because I was trying to turn left. It was a 4-way intersection with a light. And the car in front of me was trying to turn left, but a car was coming towards us. And I thought they were going to make it. Like I thought they were going to turn first. And so I inched up. And then they ended up not going. And then the light turned.
I think it's.
And we were basically stuck in the middle. So they turned. And then I turned, and the person who was like I basically blocked the street because of this guy didn't, and like somebody honked at me, but like I just laughed in their face.
It's too late now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like where do you want me to go?
I can't go back in time.
Or back into the intersection. Walker rage is a thing, though. I have seen that. Like people who I have watched somebody. Was it with their backpack? So I watched somebody start to cross the street in New York, just as the light was about to turn red for the oncoming, for like the traffic. And a car stopped short and like was in the intersection, and somebody was walking, and they weren't actually close to the car like as they came, but the car was in the middle of the intersection, and he took his bag and slammed it on the guy's trunk.
So he was in the crosswalk.
Just for being in the crosswalk. Yeah. This guy just walking was like, nope. And he took his bag and slammed it on yeah.
Do you remember?
Cyclist rage is a thing too. Yeah.
I can't think of his name. He played in the NHL, and he was always
a hockey player with rage issues. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He was always starting crap, and he's the guy that got in front of Martin Brodeur, and he was like blocking his view, and he was like suspended a ton of times, and So he's a cyclist, and I think he's like in Boston or New York City. And he
Really?
has a whole YouTube channel where he basically is riding around cyclist raging and yelling at people for being in the bike lane and just absolutely losing his mind. I'm surprised. There it is. Tobias got it. Sean Avery. And
he was nuts.
yeah, he was nuts. He still is nuts, and he has a YouTube channel now. So
Interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Interesting. Simon said I got caught by a speeding camera giving the middle finger to the speed camera. That's great. Yeah, Sean Avery was nuts. He was a Ranger for a bit in New York.
Was he?
Mm-hmm. That's how I knew him, because he was a Ranger. Not that I like watch hockey much. I must have watched it back then. I don't know. Rico Monzin on Sorare NHL.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Would we
You'd be a
do
Ranger
in
fan for 10
season?
years to pay off. That's great.
Would we do in season NHL cards? Is that how that would work?
So genuinely, if Sorare launched hockey, let's call it.
I'll let you keep going.
If they launched hockey with this in-season classic split, I think they would have more success than NBA and MLB. Because it would bring in people who like fantasy hockey with a game format that makes sense to them. And all of us who play NBA and MLB, like when it started, it was the good old days of classic, and that's all we got, and use your cards forever. And we don't have that, like a new sport wouldn't have that like slight bitterness, chip on your shoulder that you bought these cards to play forever. And the in-season model, I think, works.
I think a big issue, and we say Sorare NHL, or I think a big issue with NBA and MLB is that it's NBA and MLB, and it's not baseball and it's not basketball. They shouldn't do I don't think they'll ever do another sport, but they shouldn't do NHL. They should do hockey, and they should go get
the opposite.
No, they should go get those ridiculous leagues all over the world. And the international part of soccer is, I think, what makes it awesome, is playing these guys from different leagues, and like the global all-star aspect of it, and the scouting and finding about new guys. And you would never know the name Sazina.
Yeah,
you would never even know that person
no
existed. Zero chance. And I don't know, it would be fun to find out about some Finnish league hockey player that just absolutely smashes that league, and then buy them and play them in your all-star lineup with Connor McDavid.
There you go. Fantasy Football Ryan says, not sure how it would work, but I'd love a golf Sorare. So there is a tennis version. It's not Sorare, but oh man, they contacted me recently, actually. Well, not recently, but there is like a Sorare for tennis. Which, like, if you're going to do golf, tennis, it plays the same way, I think.
Does it?
Well, it's like you'd buy individual players that are playing an individual sport, playing in tournaments. It's exactly the same. Yes.
Well, have you ever played DFS golf?
Fungiball is what it's called. I played DFS golf very, very sparingly years ago.
Fungiball. Why are these companies so bad? And I'm including Sorare at branding their product.
This is what the cards look like. I literally don't know any of these people. Like, I stopped following tennis. Referral link in the chat. At that point, why not chess?
Well, I mean, they do esports, right? So chess is next.
BR4 said, I play Ultimate Champs basketball. I can say I've never heard of any of these players. But like, those were tennis players, right? Did I miss something here? Oh, I'm sorry. This is what the cards look like. They're action shots, Andy.
I couldn't be less interested in anything in my entire life than this right here.
Not a tennis guy?
You know, I would play. I would rather play fantasy pickleball than fantasy tennis.
So speaking of pickleball, I was watching. What was I watching the other day? I was watching some sporting event. It ended, and the next thing on was a pickleball tournament, professional pickleball, and there was a pickleball player named Jack Sock, who I recognized instantly because Jack Sock is a former professional tennis player. And I was like, same thing. He should be amazing. And he was just getting smoked.
I've tried to watch. Pickleball. I've tried to watch some professional pickleball, and it's unwatchable to me.
It just doesn't look any different than you and I playing. Like, I feel like in tennis, the speed is so much, like everything's so much faster. And the way that they can move the ball is so much better than like amateur people can. And pickleball is just like, oh, you're just on TV.
Yeah. Have you ever watched the male and female, like the co-ed, like high level pickleball players play?
This was the first time I had ever watched pickleball. So yeah, no.
Okay. I'm not it's not like I'm an avid pickleball watcher over here. Okay. I've just seen it on TV sometimes.
Every Saturday at 8 o'clock, I did that.
I feel like every time there's like a co-ed one on, it's just the guy stepping in front of the woman and like stealing all of her shots.
Stealing all the shots. Yeah. I believe that. I believe that. Major MT said, why not just watch badminton at this point? Honestly, I've seen like some random clips of like crazy badminton stuff. It looks like a wild sport. Ping pong is crazy. Table tennis.
I prefer what Major NFT called it.
It's funny. I'm going back in the chat just in case we missed something, and I just see this random, completely no context.
Is that me? Is he talking about me?
Yeah. Oh shit. Is that? Anyway. Paul's going to sign up.
Was it on the Ocha?
Fungiball. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Andy, do you think you are more likely to be a pickle expert or a pickleball expert?
Well, probably more of a pickle expert. I love a good pickle. Okay. Love a good pickle. Spicy pickle. Not like the jarred crap. Like I want
yours out of the barrel.
Yeah, like a good organic pickle.
Yeah.
Maybe a little garlic in there.
Sure.
Definitely something to spice it up a little bit though. I like the spicy ones.
Like a kosher dill is just too boring for you?
It's pretty boring. I mean, they're good too.
Interesting.
Good on a sandwich.
How do you feel about pickled chips?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
On a burger, on a sandwich.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, I'm gonna be making a sandwich here in a little bit. It's lunchtime for me, and there'll be pickles on that sandwich.
Some pickles on there. All right.
Now, pickles and mustard, it goes well together, I think.
I feel that.
Big fan of those two.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Fried pickles. Fried pickles are so good.
I'm out on those usually.
I mean, why? You don't like them, or?
I don't really like hot pickles. And so like if I put them out, like I prefer to like put pickles on a burger myself. And I know that they're like fresh out of the jar and like fresh out of the fridge. And so the bite is like a crisp cold pickle on a hamburger. And so like, yeah, fried pickle is obviously is quite hot, and I'm out.
You're weird.
It might be. It might be. Oh, all these stupid auction reminders, and I missed the end of this auction.
Oh, I meant I had to I've got to retract some things I said last week. It has to do with religion and politics and other. I'm just kidding.
I don't think we're allowed to walk those back, Andy.
Last week I said that there was no Moneyballing MLS. What did I tell you, Laird?
You were wrong.
I told you I was wrong.
And
I said,
and most importantly, based on my results, you were wrong.
right. You had like the perfect game week. Is this a blind squirrel situation, or do I really have to tip the cap?
So I would love to I'll take all the credit for what I did, but I believe the better example was SR Monkey, who won the rare one last week with what I would consider a very Moneyball-y lineup here. Daniel Rodriguez, Shambost. I still don't know how to say that. I assume it's Bo.
That one. Oh, I guess like 190 from Rodriguez and Daniel's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't seem good enough.
Well, I didn't play Rodriguez. I mean, it was 5'10". Almiron 92.
I think I told you should have bought Rodriguez.
You did. I didn't think he was worth it. I thought it was too expensive. Like, I don't know what he paid for this one. 97. That's actually like 97 for.
Seems fun.
But like the limited was like 25. And I was like, I didn't think that was worth it. Obviously, I mean, it's 100, so GG's. But yeah, so I can't take full credit. But I think I don't want to say this is how you win MLS by moneyballing it, but sometimes it works, and it worked in week one.
Yeah. The process made sense. It was find cheaper players with great matchup to try to get into Division 1, and you got there.
Yep. I think I have 2 of them in Division 1.
Yeah.
Definitely not 3. I don't know if my last one got into Division 2 or not. I guess I should check that as I make lineups. Did you feel any 1, 1, and 2. Did you feel any regret in not getting in?
No, because I've got the classic stuff, and like that was enough excitement for me.
Did you get into D1?
I'll be honest, I don't even know. I had a couple good lineups though, so probably. I am starting to get the itch though for the in-season side, but the cards I want still haven't moved enough. So it's like, do I wait one more week? Maybe. And then just instant buy everything and pay 25% more than everybody else.
Have you only looked at rare? Like, I assume you're going to buy the limiteds either at the same time as the rares or after.
Yeah. Well, I might just go rare. I might just go limited. I might do both. I don't know what I'm doing yet. And that's the big reason I haven't bought anything, is because like I want to have a plan.
Sorry, there's a hilarious comment in the chat that I'm not sure I can put on the screen.
Oh yeah, you can. There's no rules.
What were we talking
about? Me
MLS,
trying to save money and then instant buying everything.
I think I haven't even looked at the rare prices, to be honest. I know that when I thought about going either rare or limited, like the limited prices made, like I saw an easier path of making my money back in limited. And I haven't looked at rares enough to decide if I want to go into rare, but like, if you think the rare prices are still too high, I'm not sure you would think that the limited ones are too high.
I've looked at them.
Oh, so my point was like, I don't know if you were not looking at the limiteds. It's like maybe you should just look at the limiteds because you may as well just go.
Yeah. Yeah. The limited ones have really seemed to like flatten out.
Yeah, there's just so many of them.
Yeah.
Like,
It's crazy. Like they're already on close to mint 100, I think, on Messi.
is that right?
I thought that's what I saw.
Let's see. Yeah, Messi's a 94.
Yeah.
Although we both know that doesn't mean anything. Hold on.
What do you mean it doesn't mean it? Like it doesn't mean there's 100 Messis?
Right. I mean, there probably are, but that was just like the next instant buy is 94. But Evander's 66, although Evander started slow. Kai Wagner's 67. Yeah, I don't know. Celentano 102. There are, all right, 93 Messis out there already for in season.
Who's your one team that you think is just going to be great this year? Like last year, I think a lot of people at the beginning of the season were looking at LA Galaxy and we're just like they're going to be a fun team this year.
So I haven't really, like, I don't think of MLS that way. Which is weird because like I'm probably building like collections around certain players. Like I've started kind of like an Orlando collection, but like I'm not, at no point am I going to like buy a collection of a single team and just be like, oh, this is what I'll just play. Like I don't care who's good, like what teams are good. I genuinely don't care. And so
I get it, but if you're building a collection around a team, you should kind of care whether they're going to be successful or not, right?
All right, so like I bought the Orlando, like I bought Gallese and Pasalic and Atuesta. I was going to buy Ojeda. I haven't yet. So I think I think Orlando will have enough games where I can make money with those types of cards.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, they have half their games are home, right?
Well, yeah. So the more way I think of it is like, how many teams would I have like maybe 3 guys active in a lineup together as opposed to all 5? Like I have a bunch of San Jose guys now. So like San Jose, Orlando, I might buy Atlanta because I have Almiron, but like those guys are kind of expensive, but man, having another Brad Guzan just might actually end me. And I was looking at RSL recently, but like I don't think that like that they'll be good all season. Like I don't know. I'm thinking about MLS in a very short-term window right now, like literally 1 game week.
Nothing's 1 week at a time, guys. 1 week at a time.
But like the reason I'm saying I'm so genuine about that though is like I bought a bunch of cards for last weekend. And then I went to make my lineups this week and I'm like, everyone's away? What the hell? And then I was like, whoops, I guess I should think more than 1 week. But genuinely, like that's how I'm doing it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Simo's calling me out on it too. And doing the same thing. Reckon MLS will be littered with teams that have 5 guys away from home this week. Loads seem to buy into the home tie for the opening weekend. I totally did that. Totally.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, whatever week I decide to start buying cards, it'll be matchup based as well that week.
Of course.
You want to come in hot, right? You don't want to come in with guys that don't have great matchups. So, yeah.
The other team that I'm a bit optimistic about that I feel like enough people are not necessarily ignoring, but their cards look cheap is Chicago, which is like kind of embarrassing given the history of the Chicago Fire on Sorare data content. But like, I really like Zinc. Bamba, I think could be really good. But then after that, it's like, who are these guys? I bought fucking Jack Elliott the other day because they're playing DC this week.
The Gutierrez kid smashed, I think, in the first week too. So there's some good attacking options on that team, but I don't think that you're gonna want, goalkeeper defender from that team.
Oh, I say that as I just bought Jack Elliott, but like I don't think I'll buy a Brady. The way I'll look at it is I think I'm going to buy a couple of defensive stacks. Gallese will be one, Daniels the other, and maybe one other, and just try to get kind of some smashers in the other spots. Like goalkeeper defender is like the nut low of MLS.
Right, right. That's your weekly variance that is just going to go one way or the other, and your hope is to have enough smashers to where you have probably one good lineup every week or one good alignment of matchups a week.
Yeah. Yeah. Surface is asking us the opposite. What front running team do we think will not be good?
I mean, Galaxy, and
Yeah.
that's what that's the bandwagon everyone's jumping on, and I can't disagree with that. In fact, I think we like hinted at it last week. We went through real quick like the top 30 MLS teams or something. We were just scrolling through it.
Yeah.
And both of you and I were like, "Oh, Galaxy at 4."
They were like in the top 5, and it was like,
Yeah. Okay.
So I think if you know that the Galaxy are going to be bad, that's how I determine if you know what you're talking about when it comes to MLS. And not to say that like I'm getting this from my own like analysis of of the Galaxy, but like the people I trust look at the Galaxy and they're actually going to be awful this year. And yeah. So we'll see.
And I don't remember if that was Matt Doyle or Tom Bogert or yeah. I don't know if he's just basing that off of last year's performances or if he genuinely thinks that they're going to be good, or maybe he thinks they're going to make signings or something. But to look at like the evidence of their best player will be out for most of the season, and they literally ran everything through that player.
Yeah.
And like Painsel's out to start the season. That defense got worse. That goalkeeper didn't look great. We'll see, I guess.
It felt like when Evander left Portland and everyone's like, oh man, they're going to be terrible. And Ricky Pooch gets hurt and everybody's like, they'll be fine. And it's like,
right.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Tobias agreed. He was the best player in the league by far last year. Larry, I have one last soapbox, and I think this will be maybe a good start. You might already have plans for a show tomorrow, but it might be a good topic to look into a little bit.
Whoa. Does this require research?
I think so.
We don't do that here.
Sorare's rules on in-season cards for MLS. So
this bothers you so much.
I hate this. Danke and Zaha and all these guys that came from other leagues, their rule basically could allow for more than 100 rare in-season cards. I don't know if it'll happen, and I don't know that it will happen. But how many Elmira and Newcastle cards are there?
Andy, it absolutely will happen.
Okay.
I don't think it will. Yeah, I was going to say how many.
Well, with some guys it might not, but like Almiron's probably the perfect one.
I love how all this time you still have no idea how to say Almiron.
I don't care.
I know Almiron. So the 2 instant buys. Now this is the perfect example of like minting them out of order. The 2 instant buys available for Almiron are 3 of 100 and 4 of 100, and yet 19, 12, and 13 are on the secondary market. But anyway, he is currently at 94 between Newcastle and
that
they just started.
Actually triggers me right now. Like that makes me mad. And I don't know if there was a better way or a better rule for this to like go about. But when do his Newcastle cards no longer become in season?
11 days, like August 1st.
Okay. So
like
so right now there's
a MLS season.
So there's going to be 150 probably in season cards.
Yes.
And then it will reset in August or whatever, but it's not great. It's not great when you like run this platform on a sense of like scarcity and we'll never make 100 in a year. Well, you just did, and you allowed them to be played in your in-season competitions.
So this is obviously not going to happen, but if he transfers back to Europe, in the summer? Actually, no, because then his the Newcastle ones. Never mind. I was gonna say like there's a possibility he has 250, but he won't. But yeah, he's got 94 for this season, rares. And I mean, is it 9 super rares? And he's only two MLS ones.
Yeah. Now, every other time that this has happened, correct me if I'm wrong, but they just started minting the card where they left off. So they should have started minting whatever his last Newcastle card was. They would start minting it at 86 or something. It would be his first MLS card would be the 86th card.
Yes.
Why did they make a special rule for MLS this season?
I don't know. Just
to keep people like Gator Guy happy that bought all those, out of season cards. I don't understand this decision at all. And I get it. I'm like weeks late about even being mad about this. Like this should have been something we were mad about right away.
Yeah, I mean, Rigamon was like they consider them 24 cards. Like I get it, but
right. But I know, David. I know that it's about money.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's about money.
It's 100 more Almiron cards they can sell, or
yeah, of course.
Or somebody had a who was it? It's more James Sands cards that they can sell.
Rangers cards? No, or same. Oh, he's got St. Pauli cards. He's not even in MLS anymore.
I guess did he have a whole bunch of cards minted in a calendar year or something?
He has no 2025 card. Oh wait, I guess. Yeah, I mean it's obviously just like a mix-up, not a mix-up, but it's like it happens with the different league schedules.
Yeah, sure.
Mulak said they've already clarified this. It's 2025 cards now, while Newcastle one is 2024. We're not saying that they're wrong.
Then guess what? The Newcastle one shouldn't be in season anymore.
Right.
Then, sorry, they shouldn't be. It's two different seasons worth of cards being in season, and having 150 of them is it's so absurd to me.
It's likely to be more than 150. Well, that's probably 150 is probably the right.
Yeah.
Simo's with you. Oh, there we go. Denki's at 106 in season rares.
Burn it down, boys.
There it is.
Luckily for him,
this is this is actually the best.
It's the worst. It's
two in-season uniques
because it's actually doubling the in-season supply for a card. So it'd be like 200 rares or 20 super rares. 2 in-season uniques. What the fuck?
Yeah. Rigamon said, but the season is still going for the club. He got it, though. So how about this? Almiron's in-season Newcastle cards can be used in the Prem, but the Atlanta games don't count. I agree it's bullshit, but I don't think there's a solution.
Yeah, there is. There's two solutions. You either make the Newcastle cards not in season anymore, just flat out they're not in season cards, or you start minting the new cards at 85 or 75 or whatever number you're at.
So I think they
didn't want to piss people off. They were scared that they were going to make people mad, and now I think we should be more upset now.
Do you know? So I'm I'm fairly certain this is the case, but if you had an unwrapped Almiron from Newcastle and you open it now, you don't get an Atlanta card.
Oh,
But like,
I don't know. Is that right?
I think that's right. Because that happened. So yes, so that's exactly what happened with Marcus Acuna, who went to like Argentina. Same idea. They got 2025 cards. If you had a Sevilla card and you unwrapped it, you just got another Sevilla card. But if it's the same season, but it's not the same season, it's
because
just,
technically they're different years.
yeah. Yep.
They're different years, but they're all in season.
Europe cards are 2024-25. MLS are 2025. You can't strip the in-season utility when the 2024-25 season's still going. So like,
we get it. Then start minting them at that other number.
Yeah, you can.
Or you know what? Just give us 500 in season cards. Why don't we get 500 in season rares? Why not? We get 2 uniques, 2 unique in season cards. So give us 3. I want 3 in season dankies.
I'm not surprised that you're this passionate about this, but the one person that comes to mind that I think would be really pissed about this is Jimmer.
We should have Jimmer on to tell him this and make him mad because he doesn't know. There's no way he knows. There's no way he knows.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about this tomorrow. I have nothing to say on it. I think I agree with you. I think it's like, it's a very, like, I think it's like an edge case, but it's an edge case that has kind of created a really dangerous precedent.
Yeah, it's an edge case, but also too, like it's like the core of their product. And if you're focusing all of your energy and like your core game now is in season, because fuck Classic, right? They don't care about Classic. The core game is in season, and you're allowing more than your mint rate as in season cards. Seems bad. You only make 100 rares a year, right? But there's 180 in season cards.
I'm not here to disagree with you. The 2
Let's get drunk and talk about this.
Mike said it sounds like a Sorare After Dark episode.
Yeah.
Piss Jimmer off and see where he goes. I could see him just not caring, like being like, just be like, yeah, you're right. That is really wrong. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Rolled right off the shoulder. Andy, we getting a, ooh, here you go. Toby said, if Peck goes to Europe, do his new season cards start at 1? Like the precedent is that they do, but they shouldn't.
I don't know what they would do. Well, how about this? Last season, did we have any MLS players? Like Julian Carranza, right? He transferred to Europe.
Yeah.
But where did his cards start minting last year?
Surely at the higher number. Let me see. Hold on. Although, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah.
Was he a mid-season transfer? I thought he was.
So this was 68 of 100. And his first Feyenoord card was 69.
Yeah.
There you
go. The correct
Morris
implementation, right?
What'd you say?
I said that's one of the correct options.
Right.
That's like one of the correct ways to do this. And for MLS, they just chose to do the thing that is not correct. We're going to sell 200 in-season cards for players now that transfer.
Mike said Peck can't go to Europe this season, so his new cards would be 2025, meaning he's not going to Europe for the 2024-25 season.
Ooh. That's brutal, Paul.
When a player leaves a league team, they should simply be ineligible. There's your burn mechanism. Oof. Oof. Oh, that'd be painful. Graham said MLS should just get in line with the rest of the world and start their season in August. They're talking about it.
Yeah. They're talking about it.
Maybe Sorare is the reason they'll do it, Andy.
Man, can you imagine those winter games in MLS?
My
Away to Minnesota in December.
my son played in a game like 2 weeks ago, and it was like 5 degrees Fahrenheit. And my wife was like, there's no way they should be playing in this weather.
Mhm.
She's like, do the pros do this? And I'm like, no, they take the winter off. We just make our children do it.
Our last 2 weeks, my daughter had some stuff down in Memphis. And on Saturday, it was like 60 degrees and they had thunderstorms. But it was like a cold front coming through, and the weather the next day dropped all the way down to like 15 degrees.
Oh.
So the fields were soaked, and then it was like icy cold
froze.
outside. Yeah. So one of her good friends, like 5 minutes into the game, took a pretty good spill. I don't know if she was slide tackle or whatever. And she was just covered in like mud and soaked. And she just like froze to the core for the rest of the game. And then this past weekend was our regular youth league was supposed to start. So we had, I think, 3 games scheduled this weekend, and all the fields were completely snow covered. It's like, we don't even live in an area that gets a ton of snow, but we just happen to have really cold weather for the past like month. And all the fields were completely snow covered. They didn't want to, I guess they're worried about maybe pushing the snow off the fields because they can damage the turf. So they wait for the sun to melt it.
It's funny you say that, because my son's club has a turf field and they plow it.
Do they?
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, it's probably not great on that turf, but
I can't imagine.
Like, if you need to get games in and stuff, I get that too. So
yeah, I don't know. Major NFT said the 2026-27 season will begin in August, but that's Japan. Yeah, Japan. See, they're switching. Minnesota game in February. I bet they play at the Vikings Stadium indoors. There's no way you can play outdoors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anywhere in the Northeast would be horrible too.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you imagine a Yankee Stadium game in January?
In January? Oh. Yeah. No thanks.
Got the infield with snow over it.
Not happening. Although do they have 2 more years before they get the new stadium? I think it's 2 more.
You know what? That actually would be good. You'd have less NYC would have less collisions with the Yankees. You know, it might help their schedule.
They are they're actively building a new stadium.
Are they?
Yeah. Yes.
Is it
they finally got
like,
approved when they're building it?
Is it downtown?
What's that?
Is it like downtown?
No. It's right. It's actually, ironically enough, right across the street from the Mets Stadium, City Field.
So I assume all of the real estate in the city is just like way too expensive for them to build anything like that.
Correct. Yes. Riekemann said they should just have a winter break like the Bundesliga. Yeah. Maybe they play the League's Cup then.
Yeah. Down in Mexico, though.
Down in Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're allowed to do anything in Mexico after.
You know what? Put us in charge, Larry. We got that sorted out real quick.
I tell you. Let's end on a high note. Thank you to everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. I'll be back tomorrow not to talk about 150 in-season cards, because what else is there to say? Don't do it. How about that? Anyway, thank you everybody for coming, and don't forget to go outside.
Welcome to the SorareAndrews Show.